What's up, guys? It's Erica Red, and today we are finally going to talk about Demon Slayer as a whole.
A few moments later.
Tanjiro realizes that Rengoku is about to die. He just keeps going, Rengoku! Rengoku! And I'm like, dang, that sucks. But also, shut up, because, like, that ain't doing nothing but, like, just honing in the fact that he about to die. Like, shut up. Anyways. Okay, so as promised, we're going to talk about Demon Slayer. First, if you guys saw the video of me at the AnimeOHIO 2024 convention, you saw in that video I was wearing the Miss Kanroji cosplay. Obviously, that means she's one of my favorite characters, right? So, one of my other favorite characters is, don't be mad at me if I butcher this name. I'm still getting used to it. Okay, anyways, I believe his name is Kyojuro Rengoku. That was my boy. I feel like he left too soon, but without further delay, let's get right into it. So to start it off, the whole entire story, or at least in my opinion, it seems like it's following this kid named Tanjiro Kamado. Start off basically following his journey as he becomes a Demon Slayer. What happens is he goes off, he got some job at as a kid, by the way. All this is going on, these guys are kids. Keep that in mind. But he's what is he doing? He's coming back home from his day at work selling coal in the dead of winter. So it's a terrible storm. Gets home, he finds his entire family slaughtered. Like, blood everywhere, people laying all over the ground. Like, the scene was bad. His sister, Nezuko, as you see, they up there, so they two of my favorite characters. But anyways, his sister Nezuko, unfortunately, did survive the attack, but she ended up being turned into a demon. So he goes off on this quest because he's like, okay, I gotta save my sister. I'm gonna turn her back into a human. That starts off the whole show. Throughout his journey, he meets several different demons, comes across the head demon, or numero uno demon, Muzan Kabusuji. If I butcher the names in this, don't be mad at me, argue with your mama. Anyways, comes across paths with him. In my opinion, throughout that first season, they kept mentioning that man outside of that small encounter he had with Tanjiro in the very beginning. I ain't really see what the hype was about, not until the very end, but we're gonna swing back to that later. Anyways, it seems like it's all because of him. I don't know the name of the master of the Demon Slayers. It's some other long name. I'm not even gonna pretend to say it. So throughout this, we're gonna just refer to him as the Demon Slayer Master. Okay? Anyways, so Tanjiro, he crossed paths with, what is that guy's name? Giyu. Cross paths with him. He basically was like, hey, I'm trying to kill your sister because she a demon. And then he picks up on, okay, she could have attacked me if she wanted to. She's also protecting her brother and not really biting anybody. I'm going to give him a chance. So he also helped start off the journey for Tanjiro to become a Demon Slayer. Sends him to this guy named Uradaki. It's this trainer dude that, y'all know the one I'm talking about. The one with the red mask and the funny nose. Like, they always like this. Them. They are funny as hell, but sends him off to him, and he basically gives Tanjiro the foundation he needs to start off his Demon Slayer journey. He was originally the water Hashira. Apparently Hashira is like a sub-master under like the headmaster, okay? So like, it's a bunch of different breathing techniques. So his breathing technique was water. He ended up, apparently was Giyu, Tomioka Giyu, whatever his name is. He was his master as well. Remember that part because that's swinging back into some other shit that happened way at the end in like season 5. But basically, he helps him out. He's also the one that built the box that Nezuko is being carried in. So he was like another early supporter of the Kamados, basically. Anyways, he helps him, sends him to, I believe it's called Final Selection. It's basically like the last tryout stage before you can officially become a Hashira. Tanjiro makes it through that. This is all in the first season, by the way. But once he gets through there, he does cross paths with a few other eventual Demon Slayers that pop up throughout this story as well. But nothing major is going on at this point. He gets his first assignment. They have these crows that like pass the messages around. Like, apparently these birds talk and they able to like carry messages. So he gets his crow. The crow tells him his first mission. He takes off. At this point, the first season was real slow for me because I'm like, that's it. So he starts off with like this I'm gonna kill every demon and fix Nezuko energy, and then it just got real slow. Like it seemed like you just following him along through each mission or each demon he slays. Again, at some point he crosses paths with Muzan, but for me it was very uneventful. It took me to the second time of watching it before I realized, like, oh shit, like that's the demon. Like, so it was just real uneventful for this to be the one that everybody's scared of. At some point, he crossed paths with some of my other favorite characters. Actually, I just love the entire show. So I'm gonna say everybody my favorite character. It's probably easier to say which characters I like, didn't like. We gonna do that. But he crossed paths with Inosuke and Zenitsu at some point. Zenitsu, he really is one of my favorite characters. Like, I got 3 legit ones. He's like number 3 because this dude got a serious anxiety disorder. We relate, right? But like to the point where he be having full-on tantrums. They are kids, but they like pre-teens, so like 13, 14 years old. At least that's my assumption. They in double digits. This little boy be throwing tantrums like he is 2, 3 years old, right? Until it's time to fight. Like, he has, if I understand what's going on correctly, he has this panic attack, and then once he finally gets so worked up that he passes out, then he goes into like, I'm getting ready to fuck y'all up mode. So that's why he's one of my favorite characters. I can relate. Like, I'll get worked up, but then when it's time to do something or I'm under pressure, I got it. Like, I ace everything. Anyways, he crossed paths with him. When he first crossed paths with him, he asked, Tanjiro, by the way, asked Zenitsu to hold on to the box that's carrying Nezuko while he takes off. And I think it's why he's in there fighting like demons or something. And then at some point when he comes out, Inosuke, let me back up. Him and Inosuke get into this fight because Inosuke is trying to prove, if I understood it, I watched it twice and still don't understand why Inosuke was going so hard for Tanjiro. But it seems like Inosuke was just trying to prove a point that he was stronger or something. And then Tanjiro was like, dude, I'm trying to get to this demon. I ain't got time for this. So they start going at it. But then Inosuke realizes that there's a demon inside Nezuko. It's inside the box. So he's like full on attacking Zenitsu. All of a sudden, I feel like I remember this wrong. If I did, let me know. But if I remember this right, he is attacking Zenitsu, trying to get to the box, and Zenitsu is not fighting back, but he's like using his body to like protect me. All he keeps saying is, Tanjiro told me protect this box. Don't let nothing happen to it. Guard it with my life, so that's what I'm gonna do. But like getting his ass whooped. And so throughout the first season, it just kind of shows you how they cross paths. And then we get to the end during like the final, these are the Hashiras, right? I ain't gonna lie, at this first meeting, I did not like most of the Hashira. The only ones I kind of liked were obviously Miss Kenroji, because she was just like, okay, I'm just here to say hi. I mean, I'm following the master's orders. Everybody looks so nice. Ooh, they're strong. Like, okay, the master asked me to do it. I'm just gonna do it. Ooh, love, 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 right? Like, she ain't really got no dog in a fight. There was a couple of them, they was really going in for the Komodos, and I get y'all had like your own previous traumas, I guess. The amount of animosity you have for these complete and total strangers, and then your introduction to them is that this girl on my glasses is going to kill me. Okay, so your introduction to the Komodos is that they're fighting alongside you against demons. You hear that this demon, yes, is a demon, but you're told that this demon is fighting other demons. I just don't understand how you hear that and you immediately go fight. At least stop and ask some questions, especially since your master, your leader, doesn't seem to be threatened by this very thing that you're upset about. That was my only issue with them. But learn more details about them. They're all like 25 and under. So it's like, you're not even fully mature enough to really handle the situation that you're in. They do that a lot in like anime just in general, so I always think that's funny. But like, sometimes I really have to keep in mind, some of them are like 19, 20 years old. Like, I remember when I was 19, 20 years old, I ain't had like hell, I'm 31 and I still ain't, thinking in the best light all the time. So it's just, that part's kind of funny. But anyways, they're doing this meeting, and basically the master, it seems like he had already accepted that Nezuko and Tanjiro were supposed to, fight along with the Demon Slayer Corps. It's almost like he could like see what was going to happen later on. So he had already accepted them. This was like his way of letting the Hashira make their own decision, but he's hoping that they come to the same conclusion, like, yeah, we need to accept them into our, brotherhood, right? Like one of my favorite characters, Kyojuro Rengoku. You see, I got his sword up there. But like, he was real respectful about it, but he was just like, nah, master, I hear your side, but I'm still not rocking with it. Like, they broke the law. they must be punished. Simple as that. Who else? Lord Tengen, he was another one of my favorites. But he also was just kind of like, I hear what you're saying, but like, no, this don't make sense. Like, this goes against our very mission. So no. Kim Roji, again, she was on board with it. She was just like, if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. I feel like the Miss Hashira was, again, he more so because he was nonchalant, but I think he also was just like, all right, if that's what he wants, I'm with it. I don't care either way, one way or the other. But I'm just gonna say which Hashira they are because I am definitely gonna butcher their names. I don't know how to say them. The Serpent Hashira, the one with the snake wrapped around his face. Before he even spoke, I just knew he was gonna be on trash because you're walking around with a fucking snake around your face. Like, I can't expect you to say anything logical, right? Anyways, he was against it. Was like viciously and like very adamant against it, like beating them and like torturing him and just being mean, like real against it. The other one, the one with all the scars and shit on his face, what is his name? Once again, not gonna try to say it. I want to say he is the Wind Hashira, like the one that's real fast. He got the little brother that also turns into a demon, or he can turn into a demon. Him. He was against it, but like he was really going in. So because of this initial meeting, him and Tanjiro don't ever see eye to eye. Like they really on some, it's on sight every time I see your ass type shit, right? To the point where like he is basically attacking Nezuko and trying to antagonize her to get her to attack him to prove his point, like demons can't be trusted. And even then, Nezuko was still like, I don't fuck with you, but I know what you're trying to do, so like I ain't gonna help you prove your point. I'm gonna let you live for now. Like again, the Komodos do not mess with this dude because of this one thing. But once they basically saw that she wasn't gonna do anything, the master revisited like the initial question. Now that y'all see that she's not going to attack anybody when she's provoked, and she also has gone 2 years so far and never had a drop of human blood, do y'all accept her as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps? And because like they really couldn't refute the evidence right in front of them, they had to accept it. Some of them was like a little like, I'm gonna go along with it because he told us to, but still I don't like it. Eventually, most of them come around because like results speak for themselves. The Komodos, they stood on business the entire series so far that I've seen. So you go into, what is it, the second arc, and this is when they start, each season starts to have like a name. So random side note. So when I was trying to watch this, I was watching it on different platforms. So like some platforms were saying like, okay, it's only 3 seasons. Because like it looked like they mixed the first arc, like the initial introduction season, and then the second one where it has like the Mugen Train arc. They was like mixing it together. So if y'all see me or hear me mixing up some of the seasons, it's simply because I don't know which one's which. But y'all know what episodes I'm talking about, and that's really all that matters. Anyway, back to the point. So we get into the second arc or the second season, which is the Mugen Train. This is by far my favorite. Like when I say my favorite, when I get the money to waste on it, I'm definitely getting a tattoo specifically for this season. So as I said before, Kyojuro, I'm not saying his name, Kyojuro Rengoku, that is my all-time favorite character of the show because he was like, apparently as it was explained to me by one of my friends, I guess like the weakest Hashira, but like he brought the most energy for me. Like on some, so what, you a loser now, like suck it up, you're gonna be better later. Like I believe in you, so you need to believe in yourself too type shit. So he got this phrase where he says, set your heart ablaze. I always thought that people that got so emotional over anime were ridiculous until I seen this scene. Like I said, when I was getting started with the whole anti-anime thing, I was like kind of watching other videos trying to see how you go about reviewing things, right? And I had seen this one couple. I do not remember their name, so I'm gonna put it here at the bottom of the screen. Dope couple, definitely go check their page out. A lot of their videos are super entertaining to me. But anyways, I remember I like watched their video talking about this art, and in the clip, I want to say in the thumbnail, the chick was crying. And I'm like, man, that's ridiculous. I still ain't shed no tears, but I definitely teared up when I watched this season, especially that last episode. It like really tugged at my heart. There's this train that was, I guess, possessed or overcome by this demon. Ooh, the demons in this story are all ranked, and they have like the number in their eye where they ranked at. I forgot the specific number of this. Actually, I'm lying. I don't know none of the numbers. But anyways, he one of the demons, like the top demons that eventually show up, and he killed my boy. But anyways, this demon takes over the train to the point where like the passengers on it, he's putting them in this trance. I still don't understand exactly how his particular attack works, but because they were asleep, eventually they were gonna die. So the train gets shut down and they send Kyojuro to go check it out. So Rengoku was on this mission. It started off with him stopping at this train station where apparently his dad had been several years before and rescued the same lady. But this lady is there selling like these little box lunches with her granddaughter. And like she telling her granddaughter, like, be careful. Of course, kids. The granddaughter like, man, I don't know what you're talking about, Granny. Ain't nothing out here. You just tripping for no reason. Old people being old people, right? Long story short, fuck around and find out. And she did. And he's basically gathering information, intel about what's going on with this demon. Eventually, the intel that he gets from those two ladies leads him to where the actual train is. So, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, they get sent to basically train and work with Rengoku on this mission. Until I started watching the show more, I realized these little group of demon slayers ain't like no other ones. Because I'm trying to think, I was really trying to rationalize, if they just got introduced into the fold, why are they already going on missions with, quote unquote, the top demon slayers? Like, what made them qualify for that after a couple little scuffles, right? Oh, I left that apart. So, when they were doing the initial meeting to see if the Komodos were going to be fully allowed to participate as demon slayers, one of the things that kind of won the Hashira over was the fact that they had crossed paths with upper rank demons, specifically Muzan. So they were like, oh my God, you crossed paths with him and you survived. Like, clearly we on to something with y'all. All right, y'all got a little bit of wiggle room, but still got a way to go. Even then, only the Komodos crossed paths with Muzan, not Inosuke and Zenitsu. So I was always confused, like, why were y'all sent on this mission? I don't know. If it was for training, cool, which is one hell of a training session. They get into it with the demon, so they're attacking him, and this takes episodes before they're able to defeat this demon because he somehow fuses his damn body with the train. So like, apparently this is a common thing in anime that I'm seeing. You gotta cut the bad guy's head off, that's how you win. So in this particular anime series, to kill the demons, you have to cut their head off, and then they dissolve, or you keep them pinned down, and they burn because of sunlight. So the reason why this one was so hard, because even though they thought they were cutting the demon's head off, he had like located, I guess, the sensitive spot that's in his neck. He located somewhere else. So they had to like break down the fucking train before they can get to it. So that's what took so long. But like throughout this process, you got Nezuko, Zenitsu, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Rengoku fighting in different portions of the train. Mind you, it's a fucking train. So like you got the I don't know the name of the trains, but the head part where like the conductor and shit is. You got this part up here, but then you got several other sections. Then you got the caboose. Know what that is, but you got the caboose. So they fighting, like one might be up here, two down here. It was some crazy stuff. Eventually they succeed, and this is where Rengoku had already won me over because he was just funny. Like he's eating food. Apparently he's like real greedy, so he eating food and he going like tasty at every bite. So it was funny. But this is where he won me over at because he was like really a diehard Hashira. Like he took that role very seriously. They get off the train and they're fighting Akasa. I want to say Akasa is number 3 as far as like the upper rank demons. Yeah, he number 3 and he like dying to be number 1, but like they keep trying and whatnot. Like you find that out in this series. Forgot how he ended up there because I know he wasn't the demon that was like a part of the train. So I don't know if he got sent there to like help out. But anyways, he gets sent there. So then they really start banging out. Like this is where like you really see what type of Hashira Rengoku is. They battling. Eventually everybody gets beat up to a point where like they just can't go no further. Well, Tanjiro, he got that dog in him, but like it ain't fully developed. Like so he trying to like will his body. It ain't enough. Cause like he keep doing this move called Hime Kami Kagura. Again, I'm butchering these names. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But he doing that move and it just took too much out of him. Rengoku, however, he still got plenty left in the tank. So they going head to head. And at the end of the day, y'all are fighting fucking demons. So like your human body will never fully be able to go toe to toe with these demons. So to this point, unfortunately, Rengoku only has a certain amount of energy. It don't matter how much training or endurance you have, like you can only do so much because you're human. Whereas the demons, they can re-heal mid-fight. Like And Tanjiro points this out. A human loses their arm, it's gone forever. You can get a prosthetic, but like that arm is not coming back. A demon, this same hand can go missing and a couple seconds later pop right back up. So like that's basically what happens. Rengoku is like severely injured. He injured to the point where when you go to sleep the next morning, you gonna wish you had like morphine and stuff like that. Like you that jacked up. You got mad internal bleeding. Like it's bad. He like, I don't know, because it's anime, so I don't know if it was he smashed his eye or it was just a cut over it. But like to the point where my man's is fighting like this, like, and his whole entire face is like covered with blood. Like you'll see a lot of cosplay people. That's the scene they decide to dress up as, and you'll see them with like blood on that particular eye. So he got messed up pretty bad. It just sucks because he was so close to cutting his head off, and he just kept missing the mark because again he can only do so much. He'd do like this like zigzag cut in the demon, and the demon at the same time of that like last move, the demon impales him. So this is one of my favorite parts because it's like he impales him with his arm. But then even still, somehow, I mean, because it's anime, so it's like some of it is like fictional, obviously, because demons. But like somehow, Rengoku like tightens his stomach around the demon's, either holds it in. I don't know. He did something so like the demon could not like just slide his arm out of Rengoku's like abdomen. He had to like legit break his arm off and then take off into the forest so that because the sun was coming up. Rengoku's like plan was to either chop his head off or like injure him enough to the point where when the sun started coming up, he gonna stand there and dissolve. So that was the plan. Unfortunately, he succumbed to the injury got to him and he died. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like during this scene, like he basically bleeding out because as the demon is running off, like again, Tanjiro was just never gonna be okay. Like it's my favorite part, but it's one of the saddest parts because the entire time that all this is going on and Tanjiro realizes that Rengoku's about to die, he just keeps going, Rengoku! Rengoku! And I'm like, dang, that sucks. But also, shut up, because like that ain't doing nothing but like just honing in the fact that he about to die. Like, shut up. But anyways, he just keeps saying that. So like that's one of my favorite things to say. So like I'll be at work like randomly shouting that out. Anyways, at some point, Akaza breaks his arm off, so like his arm is healing. He takes off running into the forest to like basically trying to get away. And Tanjiro gets like super upset, and like with the last little bit of energy he got, he like charges after him. And I guess I don't know what he was planning to do because again you got to chop his head off still, and like you still ain't got no strength. But he like throws his samurai sword. That ain't the name of it. He like hurls his Nichiren sword at Akaza and like it impales him, but like not enough to do anything because again you need to cut his head off. But like he's like starts shouting at him. He like, you know, basically y'all some bitches because y'all can only fight us at nighttime and then during the day y'all get to take off. Like y'all are demons, so y'all get injured, y'all can heal mid fight. Like we losing limb like it's going for good. Like we not like y'all, we better than y'all. But like also Akaza don't give a fuck because Akaza like you idiot, I ain't running for you. I'm not really a coward. I'm running because the sun coming up. But that's also basically what Tanjiro was talking about. But anyways, that happens. So Tanjiro then he like feels guilty because he just really could not be there for his trainer. I forgot what they call like what the Hashiras call like the underlings. I want to say like a Sugoku or Sujiro or something. Again, y'all know what I'm talking about. At the beginning of this arc, Rengoku basically had taken those wings, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro, took them under their wing. So it's setting for everybody that Rengoku's about to die, especially since the limb that was stuck inside of his abdomen, it started to dissolve. Once that dissolves, it's basically like pulling out a object when you get impaled, you start to bleed out. So, you know, you start to see like they depict the blood coming out. Anyways, so as that's going on, he's basically giving his final words. And he's also having like that, you know, when people die in TV shows or movies and they start seeing like other people that may have died or they see the light. He's basically seeing his mom and being able to talk to his mom's spirit as he's getting ready to like pass on. But he's like giving his final words. And that's where he says, my favorite phrase, set your heart ablaze. And he basically like, when you feeling low, overcome your limits, set your heart ablaze, get that shit done. So like, that like really set my heart ablaze. Like it like really made me feel like it's like a encouraging final words. I just really like that part. So I'm getting that tattooed already got the picture in my head, but I'm gonna get that tattooed. But anyways, as he's giving his speech, the boys break down crying. Like, like big ugly tears. It's the funniest and saddest scene at the same time. Because at some point, again, Rengoku passes on. So he's dead. And the way that he died mid-battle. So like nobody moves his body. He didn't fall over. So like he really died kneeled down on the ground like this with a smile on his face, right? So while he's sitting there, nobody lays his body down. Like if his eyes are still open, nobody goes and like closes his eyes or anything like that. And then Tanjiro, this again, I guess a common theme in anime, but like Tanjiro goes on this long monologue about how he's not good enough and how he failed his master or his trainer, and you know, da 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 da. Again, he's crying, Zenitsu is crying, and Inosuke is crying. Inosuke is crying so much that, you know, he wears like that boar mask. It has tears coming out of the eyes of the boar mask. Like, funny shit. Anyways, they boo-hooing Inosuke because he's such a fighter. Eventually, he gets frustrated, like, shut your blabbering. Like, he said he believed in you right already, so all you gotta do is believe in yourself and just work out to get there later. Like, they arguing, like, but crying at the same time. So then Zenitsu goes, but you crying too. I can see it coming out your mask. Zenitsu was like basically saying the same thing. And Inosuke get mad and headbutt this man and knock him out. So he land, you know how anime, they give you like the blink white eyes to say he knocked out. So he land on the ground like that. And then Inosuke runs over to Tanjiro and like hems him up. And he's like, come on, let's go train our asses off. But again, boo-hooing. Craziest scene. I'm like, y'all doing all of this, ain't nobody trying to alert nobody. But then, as I was saying before, they got these crows. So apparently a crow had already been watching the whole thing, so he's already flying, giving the word out. Cool. Unfortunately, Rengoku passes. Now, eventually, he gives Tanjiro in his last words basically some directions to, hey, I remember you was trying to find out some more about that Hime Kamu Kagura, whatever the name of the move is. Again, y'all know what I was talking about. But he's like, hey, I remember you was trying to learn about that. My dad got these books from when he used to be the Flame Hashira, and it might got some details or at least some tips or help, you know, trying to figure out whatever that move or your dad was teaching you back in the past. Go stop there, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Also pass on these last words to my dad and to my little brother for me. Cool, right? So, you know, Tanjiro, he go ahead and do what he got to do. Get back there. His brother's real receptive, you know, obviously grieving. The dad, on the other hand, his dad was a drunken asshole. It just make you kind of like Rengoku even more because it's like you came from this. It showed clips of your mom being real nice and loving and caring, but you came from your dad, and your dad was an asshole. Like, it basically looked like they eventually explained it and his dad apologizes, but he basically was suffering from dealing with the loss of his wife, which was Rengoku's mom. And just after that typical story, you put yourself into a drunken stupor and you become an asshole. So that's basically what happened. But so that wraps up that part of that story of the Mugen train or the Mugen arc. That's how that season ends. And then those three are sent off to train or follow under Lord Tengen Uzui. Again, if I'm butchering these names, argue with your mama because you know who I'm talking about.
And it is at this precise moment I realized this video is long as shit.
Okay,
so I ain't even gonna do that to y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and tap out and just leave a link for the part 2 in the description box. But make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then give me a thumbs up if you rock with it. Thanks. Love you. Bye.